If you're using cash or a debit card, you are literally setting yourself up to fail. And not only that, you're missing out on massive advantages that this strategy gives you. So if you want to learn the better way and the way that you should be using instead of your debit card and instead of cash, then you are going to want to stay tuned. I don't know about you, but if you're like me and at one point in time you've had a debit card or you've had cash stolen from you and you've realized how impossible it is to actually recover that stolen cash or recover that stolen money from somebody else using your debit card, then you probably understand what a huge nightmare that can actually be. But if your credit card gets stolen or people spend money on your credit card or there's some online fraud or hacking, you will not be on the line for that. Your bank will take care of it. It's happened to me multiple times and my bank instantly resolved it, sent the money back into my account that same day, right? It's not a nightmare with a credit card. It is a nightmare with a debit card. Yes, I know that certain debit cards do offer protection when it comes to fraud, but most don't. And I know people are also going to spam in the comments that credit is evil, right? All credit cards, are for is just ruining people's lives and charging you a bunch of interest. But I've used credit cards for the past, almost decade, and I have never paid 1 cent of interest. Because the truth is, if you use credit cards correctly, you can book hotels and you can take flights and you can literally never have to pay for these travel expenses ever again. If you always pay your bills on time, right? And you can set up auto pay and you can do all of these things so you don't even have to think about it. You'll never pay a cent of interest and you'll literally just get essentially an interest-free loan, which is, at the most basic sense, just completely free use of someone else's money that you get the benefit for. So the number 5 reason to start using a credit card is improving your credit score. When you're young, if you're 13, 15, 17, 19, 21, however old you are right now, right, you probably don't realize how important a credit score is. You probably never tried to buy a house. You've probably never tried to get a car loan, right? But all of these things that will become important as you get older, yes, it does happen. I know it's hard to believe right now that you do actually get older and become an adult, but it does happen. You're going to want to start getting rewards credit cards, or you're going to want to buy a house or buy a car and get all of these things. The main thing that people check, like banks and people that are going to give you those loans, is your credit score. And if you're young now, the best time to start building a credit score is right now, today, right? So how do you actually do that? You apply for a credit card, right? And if you don't have any credit history, you have to start with, some of the lower credit cards like the Chase Unlimited Freedom. Or if you have nice parents or a nice uncle, they can do what's called co-signing on your credit card. And if they co-sign on your credit card, you can get some of the best credit cards in the world, right? Because if your parents have good credit, right, by co-signing, they basically take on the liability of you not paying your bills, right? And then if you're really responsible with your spending, then you can build credit completely for free, which is going to be a huge benefit to you down the road, and it costs you nothing and it costs your parents nothing, right? And you and your parents start to love each other a little bit more because they co-sign for you. Number 4 is what's called return protection. So if you want to return something that you bought with a credit card and the place that you bought it from won't actually accept that item or whatever that product was back, then sometimes your credit card company will actually pay the difference between how much that costed and what they actually won't take back. Which is pretty cool if you ask me, because it basically means that even if you bought something from Walmart and they won't take it back, sometimes your credit card will still reimburse you for that item and you can actually keep it for free. Number 3 is what's called purchase protection. So sometimes if you buy particular items or products on a credit card, right? Let's say for example that you bought a brand new iPhone, on your credit card. What's gonna happen is if somebody, steals that phone or, steals it out of your car or whatever, your credit card company will literally reimburse you for a brand new phone via the purchase protection. This alone makes it worth actually getting a credit card, right? Because how nice is it and how comforting is it knowing that if your phone's stolen, that they'll reimburse you for it if it's stolen within the first, few months. It's such a massive benefit that credit cards give you, and it costs you nothing extra to take advantage of that. Number 2 is what's called warranty protection. So some cards, like the Chase Sapphire Preferred, for example, will extend a warranty if it's less than 3 years, a manufacturer's warranty, by up to 1 year. So what happens is if you actually buy, like a microwave or a refrigerator or something like that, or like a washer and dryer, your Chase Sapphire Preferred will extend that manufacturer's warranty and they'll cover you and actually reimburse you outside the manufacturer's warranty period. Number 1, guys, without further ado, is points. There are people who literally spend their whole lives and they make their whole living just by doing what's called churning, right? So I have over 6.5 million Chase points. Like, I will literally never pay for another flight the rest of my life. My friends won't ever pay for a flight. My family won't ever pay for a flight. And the reason that that's possible is because I pay for everything in my life on credit cards. All of my ad costs, all of my cost of, goods for my businesses, all of my food, like literally everything in my life I pay for with a credit card. I haven't used a debit card in over 10 years, right? I haven't used cash in probably over 10 years. And so how you actually do that is you accumulate points every time you spend $1 on a card. The best card in the world for accumulating points is the Chase Inc. Business Preferred. You get 3 points per dollar on so many different things, right? Ad costs, on internet bills, on your phone, all of these different things. So you get all of the benefits that I talked about, but you also start to accumulate, tens or thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of points with no additional cost to you, especially if you pay your cards on time. So I know there's gonna be people in the comments that are saying, Kevin, credit cards are the devil, right? They're taking advantage of you. I've never paid 1 cent of interest in over 10 years of using credit cards. And if you use them responsibly, right, you don't have to either. And so if you guys are interested in using credit cards and making money on the internet, I suggest you check out this video right here, which is how to make $30 per hour, literally just watching videos. Check out this video right here and we'll see you on the next one. I'm gonna show you how you can make $30 an hour watching videos and browsing the web. And I know that sounds too good to be true, but I tried it myself to prove it works, and it does. So stay tuned, ninjas.